Hi, my name is Jelani, and I'm from Greenwood, Mississippi, small town. I just qualified to run for mayor not too long ago, and I just kind of wanted to do a few videos just to kind of elaborate or better explain the platforms in which I'm running on. They're very simple, very solid earth type platforms, nothing too complicated. One of the first issues that I wanted to deal with was our economic development here. And Greenwood has all the potential to be one of the greatest cities in Mississippi, if not the South itself, with the right direction, with the right leadership. One of our greatest, or one of our key components to that economic development would be our entertainment industry. And a key component of a successful and productive entertainment industry is our curfew. And seeing as how our curfew ends at 1 o'clock, which means that all clubs, bars, nightclubs, whatever you have to close at 1. But here's the trick. That's not law. That is just a measure taken by the police chief who he feels personally that allowing grown people to party to a certain time keeps down crime, which obviously does not, because crime persists and continues to flourish here in Greenwood. But one of the things I wanted to, like I said, expound on was on my platform. I will be not only pushing for a new curfew, but I will install a new curfew. One, because there is no law saying that a club has to close at 1. And I have here the actual city ordinance, which clearly says, well, that's the title of it, establishment of closing time for the holder of a permit, can't read backwards, authorizing the sale of beer, light wine, or other alcoholic beverage for consumption on the premises. And it says, it shall be, well, I'm sure you can see it. I'm going to have to turn it around and read it. But it says, it shall be unlawful for any nightclub, bar, or similar business engaged in the sale of light wine, beer, or other alcoholic beverage for the consumption upon its premises to conduct business or otherwise remain open to the general public between the hours of 1 a.m. and 7 a.m. on any day of the week. Now, what that says, to explain it to you, exactly what it said, that the sale of beer or light wine or any other alcoholic beverage is illegal, not the opening or you remaining open of your business. It says here you have to close your bar between the hours of 1 a.m. and 7 a.m. Not your club, or not the bar as an establishment, but the actual bar where you serve the liquor. So, again, like I said, it is only a measure taken by the city police chief, in which I brought this to the attention of the city council and the mayor, in which they took no step to make the chief change his measure. But as mayor, the mayor has the ability to instruct the chief to say, hey, you cannot enforce this law because it's not a law. This is something where you're using an ordinance to enforce something that you personally feel will benefit the city, but it does not. And excuse me. The entertainment industry in itself here in the Delta is a booming business. People from the city of Greenwood have to travel miles, sometimes even hours or more outside the city just to find a suitable place where they can enjoy themselves and unwind for the weekend. And these places, mind you, are nowhere near the size or have the resources that Greenwood has. And the fact that they have to do that takes money from the city, because those are sales taxes that the city could be taking in itself. and it has a negative effect on the economic climate here in Greenwood. And according to Angela Curry, who is the program director of the Economic Development Group here in Greenwood, sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce, she says that our best source of income in this time of what we call a recession would be creative economic development, and the city taking a big part in assisting to provide people with the opportunity to create economic development. And seeing as how we already have a basis with the entertainment industry, we already have a demand for entertainment, that would be the most immediate and direct venue that we could use to directly affect our economic climate here. It would open up business for people who otherwise have no other training or no other experience in any other type of business. The club or the bar industry is a fairly easy business to get into. All you have to do is just, hey, have the hours to stay open and have the liquor there for people to come to and the music that they want to listen to. And all it would take is local government interest and investment and police protection. And what I mean by local government interest and investment is that the local government should take measures and steps as far as extending the curfew, which is showing interest in this business, in this type of business, extend the curfew and set up rules or ordinances that would protect these club owners from violent acts and from people who would want to take advantage of this time or of this curfew. They should invest in these businesses by offering these owners incentives. I'm not really sure what kind of incentives they can offer, but I'm sure they can offer incentives such as parking, or maybe we have a convention visitors bureau here. That could be something that our convention and visitors bureau could make a main focus, is selling Greenwood through its entertainment industry. Police protection. These venues and places and nightclubs should be protected by police. And by saying that, I mean just the presence of a police officer in a crowded area would deter pretty much any crime from happening. I mean, they don't have to harass people. They don't have to usher people off and tell them to leave and do all this and do all that and make them go inside the club. Just their presence. Their presence there is enough to deter any person, crazy or not, from committing any acts of violence. Down here, anywhere, it would take a person who is totally insane, which we don't find those all day, to run up and bring a weapon of some sort to a place such as and begin shooting, and you see a police officer standing there. Anybody with common sense or not common sense knows better than that. And that's not the protection that our local police force offers to these nightclubs. If anything, they offer more harassment than they do protection. They only show up after the club is over and ushers everyone off to their cars as if, hey, you're grown, but you can't stand here and have a conversation without something happening. Like I said, just their presence would be enough to deter anyone from doing anything. But our police force would rather ride around all night and then show up at the very end to make everyone go home. And that's just that's not becoming of a city that wants to expand and grow. If anything, that causes people to leave. One of the other creative economic development ideas that I would try to institute would be the establishment of an entertainment district, which means a certain part of the downtown area would be sectioned off as the entertainment district, and where certain ordinances and codes would be put in place to protect those businesses, such as a dress code. If you're coming to a business or a venue inside the entertainment district, a certain dress code would be issued. Not saying what you can't wear, but just how you wear what you wear. Because, what we must understand is that we want to attract outside people and of all backgrounds, races, demographic, cultures to our city. And a lot of people are deterred by, just the appearance of how some people choose to appear in public places. This entertainment district would have a looser drinking policy. Maybe you would be able to walk outside as long as you have walk outside with your alcoholic beverage as long as you have it in the cup, such as they do on Beale Street. And Beale Street, Bourbon Street, 6th Street in Austin, Texas. These places thrive off of the entertainment industry and allowing people to have fun and allowing people to enjoy themselves. So that would be one perk of being in the entertainment district, is that you would be able to walk outside with your drink in your hand as long as it's in the cup. And again, police protection, officer stationed just in this district, patrolling this district, and an officer stationed at each establishment to protect these establishments, because people will get drunk and alcohol makes people act certain ways. Well, again, I don't care how drunk a man gets, he sees a police officer, he's going to correct his behavior. He's not going to behave as if the officer's not standing there, because he knows that the officer has the power and the authority to arrest him, and most people don't want to get arrested. Another means of protecting, or another code of the entertainment district would be certain stipulations putting on people who want to fight. Hey, if you want to fight, it won't be tolerated. Fighting is not something that will be tolerated in this area or the surrounding area, but most definitely in this area, because we have something that we're trying to do here. We're trying to build a moniker for our city, and to do that, you have to make people feel safe. People do not want to come out where they feel intimidated, where they feel like they will be harassed or robbed or, anything like that. So in establishing an entertainment district, you establish a way to control it by instituting certain rules and regulations that, people will have to abide by if they want these type of perks, because, with great, the more you're given, the more you're expected and required to appreciate what you're given and to treat it in a way in which it can continue, and not one person or one certain group of people mess it up for everybody. We kind of want to prevent that, because we've seen how that can turn out. Establishing an entertainment district